and welcome back to another episode of the Queen of Pep Talks podcast. Happy Friday! I hope that you are having the best Friday of your whole entire life. I am so giddy. I'm so happy right now, and I have to start this episode by saying thank you so freaking much. I woke up this morning, and every morning I check the podcast. I see what's going on with downloads and reviews and all of that. And this morning I woke up to so many new ratings and reviews, and I just have to say, I freaking love you guys. Like, thank you so much. It means the absolute world to me that you took the time out of your day to share with me that this podcast is impactful for you, and you did it in a way that is going to allow the algorithm of the podcast to put me up just a little bit higher so that people who are looking for and searching for this message that I share here on the podcast, they're going to be able to find it. If you have not already, it would mean so much to me if you left a rating and review on the podcast. It is literally the only way that people who are not already connected with me, other than word of mouth and you recommending the podcast to other people, it's the only way that strangers to all of us can find and become connected to the message that I share here on the Queen of Pep Talks podcast. So thank you so much if you have already left a review. If you're going to pause the episode or keep listening and go and do that right now, I appreciate you just so much. It means the world to me that you are here. I'm so grateful for my community and for the podcast and for every single one of my clients. Yesterday, I was sitting on the couch last night and I just started crying, like tears of gratitude for the women who I had the opportunity to make an impact on. And whether that's in the capacity here on the podcast where you just tune in and you've never even spoken to me, or you're a client who I talk to literally every day and I get to share in your life with you and be beside you as you are working and growing and changing and transforming and building. I'm so grateful for every single part of it. And I hope that it doesn't even matter. I was going to say if you're a coach, but it doesn't even matter. I hope that no matter where you are in your life, you're just so fucking grateful for every single thing that you have, because this life literally is a blessing. And I think we spend so much time. I know we spend so much time stressing and worrying about what's coming and what we don't have and what we want and where we are and why we're not where we want to be yet. Life is short, and I'm so committed now more than ever to just loving every single minute of my whole entire life. I already feel this is going to be an emotional episode given the things that I'm going to be talking about and how I'm feeling right now. So if you don't want to hear any tears, you might want to not tune into this episode right now, because I feel I might be getting a little bit emotional throughout the course of today's episode. On today's episode, I am sharing a life update because it has been a while and there's a lot that I want to talk about. Inside of this episode, I'm going to be talking about new offers, things that are upcoming that I didn't mention on Wednesday because I just decided on them last night or this morning. It's Thursday, the day before this episode is going to air. So I'm going to be talking about some new offers. I'm going to be talking about failure, my workout routine, things related to my workout routine. I started eating in the morning before my workouts, and so many of you have had a lot of questions about that. So I'm going to be talking about that. I'm also going to be talking a lot about family stuff because there's been a lot going on within my family. I'm also going to be talking about fear. I'm starting something new in January and I'm really freaking nervous. I'm like really nervous, but it's all good and it all gets to be okay. So let's jump right into this life update because it's been a while since I've given you one. And I know that so many of you just love these kind of more laid back episodes where I'm giving you just kind of the lowdown, the behind the scenes of what is happening in my life. So first things first, let's get the work stuff out of the way. Things that you need to know if you missed them on Instagram when I shared yesterday. I shared one of them. I haven't actually even shared the other yet. I have decided, I know that I said Committed AF was going to be the last masterclass of the year. I lied. I apologize for lying. I didn't know at the time that I was lying, but I lied to you. I am bringing back the Resolution 2023 edition. So many of you, I think there were over 200 women who participated in the resolution last year. I am bringing it back bigger, better, and even juicier than last year. And inside of this masterclass, I am sharing with you the most important resolution that you need to make in your life if you want to create radical change. $20.23 is the investment, and you are going to walk away with mind-blowing takeaways. There are so many women who come top of mind for me when I think about this masterclass. It was the first thing that they invested in with me last year, their first ever investment with me. We ended up working together a ton in inside of 2022, and the transformations that have happened since then are just mind-blowing. This masterclass can change the game for you, and if nothing else, it will help you prepare for the resolutions that you are setting in 2023 that are going to help you better your life, your health, your wellness, your finances, your business, whatever it is that you're working towards. This resolution is a game changer, and I'm going to be bringing a new level of spiciness because it's been a year for me of learning. And the cool thing about doing live programs and courses is that you get to experience the new and improved version of me. And I have learned and grown so much in the last year, and I'm very excited to share that with you in the 2023 edition of the Resolution Masterclass. The link to register for that is in the show notes of this episode. $20.23 happening on December 28th at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, recorded, available to watch on replay, lifetime access, all of those good things. The second thing, work-related, that I'm very excited to share with you before we jump into the more personal stuff, I have decided that I am doing a secret, sneaky birthday offer that is going to be sold at a discounted rate exclusively to an email list. So if you are on my email list, you are going to still need to register your email address below. I'll say it again. Even if you receive emails from me, you still need to register your email address below, and you are going to get a discounted rate at an offer that is coming in January that I have never yet talked about. You are getting the details here first. The details that I know right now are very little, but what I do know is going to be a multiple day event. It is not included in the 2023 Masterclass membership, and I'm going to be sharing with you a kind of 2022 at a glance is how I'm referring to it right now. I don't know what the name is going to be. 2022 at a glance, where I'm going to be sharing with you the most impactful things that happened to me in 2022, both good and bad. The things that I went through, the things that I experienced that changed me for the better or for the worst. And one of the biggest things that I can share with you right now that I know will be a massive takeaway for the women who join this offer is that you are going to learn how to be a woman who continues to show up for herself and keeps going, working towards her goals and her dreams, even when she's not getting the result that she wants. I say all of the time, it's easy to show up and do the work when we're excited, and especially when we're getting the result that we want and we have the evidence that things are working. A lot this year did not work for me the way that I wanted it to. And there are so many lessons that come from that. A lot of people don't want to talk about their failures. I'm going to talk all about both my wins, my celebrations, the things that were incredible in 2022, as well as my failures. And in that, I'm going to extract all of the lessons for you that I know will be so powerful in helping you move forward in 2023 and become a woman like me who can meet failure, who can look failure dead in the eyes and say, I'm going to keep going, even though I'm so freaking disappointed right now, even though I'm so frustrated right now, whether that's with outside circumstances, with yourself, whatever that looks like, you're going to leave this course, masterclass, program, whatever it becomes, knowing that you can be a woman in 2023 who keeps going no matter what. Okay, so I'm very excited for that. There will be so many takeaways inside of that, but you must be on the email list. Link for that is in the show notes of this episode. I will be talking about it on Instagram. I'm going to make that very clear. I will be talking about it on Instagram, but for 48 hours on my birthday, and the day after, you are going to have an opportunity to join at an email list exclusive rate, which is going to be a massive, massive savings for you. Okay. You can register for that email list in the show notes of this episode. I'm very excited for this opportunity for you. And I'm very excited to bring this together and share it with the world, because I know that what I'm going to share are things that most coaches wouldn't share. When you don't have your best year yet, most people want to hide from that. Not me. I don't hide from my failures because I know it's all a part of my journey and my story, and I'm excited to share it with you. Okay, we're going to save the family stuff for last, just in case I start getting emotional, then I can cut it short and say goodbye. So let's talk first about my workout stuff. A lot of interest in what I'm doing with my workouts lately, and primarily because I started sharing that I am eating now before my workouts. So if you have not seen this on Instagram, I spent 10 years working out fasted. And well, I'm lying. I spent many years working out fasted. There was a period of time in my life where I was working out in the evening. Obviously, I was not fasted then, but I had myself convinced that I needed at least 3 to 4 hours after a meal in order to digest, or I felt sick during my workouts. I have a big goal for myself in the remainder of 2022 and into 2023 I want to become strong as fuck. Like I really want to become really, really strong. That's like my focus now. And it has nothing to do with dieting. I am not dieting. I am not counting my calories. I'm not paying attention to any of my macros right now. I can't say that I won't ever start paying attention to my protein intake because I know that is a big part of building and growing. But I'm not dieting. I'm not doing this to change my body. I'm doing this because of the way that it makes me feel. And what really ignited this excitement in me was Lift More. I did that program twice and I was like, wow, like I feel myself getting really, really strong. I love it. They were simple, basic lifts. And then I started with Body Beast and now I'm like just addicted to feeling like, oh my gosh, I feel so strong. I have up to 60-pound dumbbells now in my house that I'm using for a lot of movements, especially lower body stuff. A couple of back exercises I'm using those for. Really very exciting. But that being said, I started doing a little bit of research on understanding how can I feel my best during my workouts and how can I really prioritize gaining strength. And one of the things that I keep finding is you should be eating before your workouts if you're really wanting to perform your best as an athlete during your workouts. And yes, I'm an athlete, you're an athlete, we are all athletes because we get to decide that for ourselves. So I have started eating before my workouts. I'm sharing that on social media because I share a lot of what I do on social media. And I've been getting so many questions about what I'm doing, what I'm eating, why I'm eating, how I got comfortable eating, how long before my workout am I eating. So I want to talk a little bit about what this transition has looked like for me because it's something that I'm still working on. I just started this a couple of weeks ago. So as I continue to learn and grow and research and apply in my life, I of course will be sharing those things with you if that's something that interests you because I've always shared all parts of me and I'm happy to talk about fitness stuff. I love fitness so much. So probably about a month ago now, I decided that I wanted to start eating before my workouts. And the idea of eating early in the morning for me has always been, I don't know if it's still like remnants of diet culture. I don't know if it's just the way that my body has been trained because I've never really eaten early in the morning and I've very rarely ever eaten before workouts unless I was training in the evening. I started really slow. I started with just like a half a banana or a banana. And I was taking as much time as I could between eating that and starting my workout. I'm very fortunate that I have that flexibility. So generally what I'm doing right now in the morning is I'm getting up, brushing my teeth, going to the bathroom, making my bed, going downstairs, cleaning up the kitchen, making myself some breakfast. Now I'm cooking. I'm up to eating a slice of toast with peanut butter and a half a banana, a slice of toast with a fried egg. And then I've also just added a intra-workout drink that I'm drinking, which is half a scoop of protein, half a scoop of Nesquik. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a couple of minutes. So I'm eating my meal in the morning. Generally, it depends, but like around 7:30. And then I'm going, sitting on the couch, doing my morning routine, doing my journaling, drinking my Energize, checking in with my clients, creating content for Instagram, and then I get into work for a little bit. It really depends like how long after my meal I'm working out. It depends on how like sucked into work or how much work I have to do. It really depends on that. So some days like today, it was like 30 minutes because I was kind of in a rush. Like I have deadlines today and things that I have to do earlier in the day. There are some days where it's like 2 hours where I eat and then I'm like, I get sucked into work and then I go and work out. The time really varies for me. I have not had any kind of like negative reaction to it. Like I thought I was going to feel sick. I thought I was going to feel queasy or nauseous. I thought I would be like burping up my food. I thought I would want to throw up. Now, mind you, I'm not doing any high impact cardio. What I'm doing right now is lifting and then walking on the treadmill. So I'm lifting for between 40 and 55 60 minutes. And then I'm walking on the treadmill for 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how I'm feeling that day. So nothing super high impact where I'm jumping around a lot. I don't know how I would feel if I was doing a lot of jumping around after eating. I can't say because I'm not doing that right now, which is absolutely okay. But I'm sharing this because I want this to be a reminder for any story that you've created in your life. Just because it's who you've always been or how you've always felt does not mean it's how you have to feel forever. I literally had myself convinced that I cannot eat before my workouts. I'm going to get sick. I can't do it. I'm going to barf, whatever the story was that I had. Whatever story you have right now that is not a story that you want to have in your life, you get to try, at a minimum, try to change the narrative by rewriting a new story. I want you to give yourself that opportunity, Okay, give yourself that opportunity. A lot of people have been reaching out and saying, I would love to be able to eat before a workout, but I can't. Couple of tips: start small and build yourself up. Take your time, take as much time as you can between eating. Choose foods that are easily digestible. A lot of people have recommended to me when I started sharing this, eating things like Pop-Tarts and Rice Krispie treats. That is not the vibe that I'm looking for personally, just because it doesn't feel good for me. I don't like the idea of eating a Rice Krispie treat in the morning. For me, that doesn't feel like honoring my body. I prefer to choose whole foods. That's just me personally. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. I'm not saying that the energy source that I'm choosing is better than that. Probably the sugar might be even a little bit better. Moving on, I want to talk about the intra workout that I just introduced today. Actually, is the first day that I did this. So a couple of years ago, this is probably more than a couple, it was probably about 7 years ago, a friend of mine and I went on a diet called RP Strength. I don't even know what RP stands for. It's something that she introduced me to. But I can tell you that when I was doing this was when I was stronger than ever. My lifts, I was lifting more than I've ever lifted before. Probably about the same as what I'm lifting now, but it felt easier, if I can put it that way. The weights that I was lifting felt lighter than what I'm lifting now, even though it's the same. I was drinking during that time. I was drinking this like intra-workout drink is what they call it, where you're drinking a whey protein and a very easily digestible carbohydrate. So they recommend like Tang, Nesquik, Gatorade, anything that is high in sugar, because that's like a quick digesting carbohydrate, I think. Again, I'm not a nutrition professional, so please don't like take my words as advice or guidance, because I'm not giving that to you. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. I started with that today. I noticed an increase in my energy, which felt really good. I also noticed that at the end of my workout, I wasn't really as tired as I normally feel. So I'm going to continue playing around with that. I'm even thinking about, you guys, this is crazy, I'm even thinking about joining a gym. I think this week I'm going to go to the gym with my husband on Sunday, and I'm really considering joining because I really want to get stronger. And let me just say, like, weights for your house are freaking expensive. Like a 60-pound dumbbell was like $180 or something. It's absurd. It's more than $2 a pound. And it's just insane to keep adding to my workout space. So we'll see what happens with that. But what I can say is I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling healthy. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling good. I'm taking care of myself. And I love that for me. And I hope that in 2023, I know I've been talking a lot about dieting and getting on diets in the new year. I hope that when 2023 comes for you, if changing your physique is a goal, the bigger, more important goal for you is doing the things that really make you feel very, very good. You don't deserve to be miserable in the pursuit of changing your body. So I hope that you can really focus on what feels really good for you. And that's why I'm training in this way. That's why I'm choosing to eat before my workouts. That's why I'm choosing to introduce this during workout drink, because I want to maximize the way that I feel during my workouts. There's something that I've been doing 6 days a week for years now. So I'm figuring out, how can I feel my best during them, and how can I fall even more in love with taking care of my physical body? Okay. The next thing that I want to share with you guys is I am starting HPS, Heroic Public Speaking, an 8-month school course. I don't even know what to call it, program with them in January. And it's like, how is January here? Like, we're midway through December. This is absolutely insane. But I'm very nervous. I know that this is going to take a lot of time from me, a lot of work from me. And I think the biggest thing that I'm nervous about is, what is my capacity in my coaching business going to look like as I'm taking on this new venture that is going to require a lot of me? And I'm really nervous to see what that's going to look like. I'm nervous to see what that's going to feel like. But the biggest thing that I come back to in these moments of nervousness and fear is the incredible trust that I have for myself, and knowing that no matter what comes, I'm going to be okay. And even if that means I have to scale back in my coaching business and run less programs and coach less one-on-one clients, or whatever it is, do less in my coaching business, I know that I've put myself in a position where that all gets to be okay. I'm financially secure. I have saved a ton of money. I've been making a lot of money month over month. I have a lot of recurring revenue. So I'm just nervous about the transition. And I share this because I want you to be reminded that doing new things is freaking scary. Doing new things is really, really scary, and that gets to be okay. You get to feel a little bit afraid and a little bit nervous, and it still gets to be okay. You can shift that perspective really easily by telling yourself that you're excited about this and reminding yourself that anxiousness and worry and excitement feel very similar in the body, and reminding yourself that you're excited and you chose this and you wanted this for a reason, and not allowing the fear to be so all-consuming. I tell myself all of the time when I'm worrying is such a waste of my energy. Like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And I trust that when it happens, I'm going to be a woman who is strong enough to handle it. Do you believe that you're a woman who is strong enough to handle whatever is going to happen in your life? If you believe that to be true, then my love, you have nothing to worry about. So I am so excited to go on this new adventure in my journey, in my life, in my business. And I'm so excited to share it with all of you. And I'm so excited for the day that I am on a stage speaking, and hopefully you will be there in the audience listening. That just makes me so happy and puts the biggest smile on my face. Okay, now on to the thing that I know so many of you are here for. You want to hear the family talk because you love when I talk about my family, because I think it makes you feel less alone in some of the dysfunction and unhappiness within their own families when other people share that they're going through the same thing. So if you missed it, last weekend I shared on my Instagram stories and on my feed that I got to see my little brother for the first time in almost 5 years. And it was one of the first times that I had spoken to him in about the same time. I think we had one conversation in that time, about a year after my mom got sober. So probably about a year and a half ago, him and I had one conversation. And this weekend we were reunited. And there are so many feelings that come up for me around this, and so many things that feel relevant to be talked about. And I will share what I can and what I feel comfortable sharing here. A lot of people were reaching out asking why we haven't been talking. And I'm not comfortable sharing like what's been going on for my little brother and the things that have been happening in his life that have stopped him from being a part of the family unit. But what I can say is he has been going through things in his personal life that have made him detach from the people who really care about him. Myself and my mom being the main two people who he's kind of cut out of his life. He still has a decent relationship with my older brother, who I don't talk to at all. And he has been seeing my dad. They live very close to each other. They both live out in Lancaster, so they see each other quite often. But for years now, I've been attempting to have a relationship with my little brother. And I think it's hard to even put into words how difficult it's been for me, because my little brother growing up was like my literal best friend. Like I took care of him when he was a baby. I'm only 18 months older than him. Oh my gosh. He means the absolute world to me. And it has been really hard to continue to make attempts to have that relationship and continue to feel like I'm being shut down and rejected in him wanting to share that relationship with me. And I've only seen him once now, and we didn't talk too much about like the why and the what's going on. I just really wanted to be present with my little brother, like giving him a hug felt like just the best thing in the world. And I'm so happy that I got to see that and experience that with him. I know that he is also very, very emotional about the years that we have missed being together. I could see that in him, and I can feel that when we talk. I know that he is very sad for the way that things are, and he's very sorry for not being around for so long. And to be quite honest with you, I really don't even care. Like, I don't even need a sorry or an apology from him. I just want my little brother back in my life. And I was telling Chris, my husband, before I went to see my little brother this past weekend, oh my gosh, I need to grab a tissue. I'm like a mess. I was telling Chris over the weekend before I went to see my little brother that one of my biggest fears is that I go there and I see my brother and I open up this kind of like door, much like I felt about my niece. And I think I shared that with you guys. If not, I just went through like reuniting with my niece as well. I'm pretty sure I shared that here on the podcast. My biggest fear was that I would open this door and I would feel connected to my brother again and excited for the relationship that we were going to build. And then he wouldn't want to be a part of my life. Like, he would decide like, oh, actually, like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to be a part of your life and I don't want to rebuild this relationship. That was really scary for me. And after I left seeing him over the weekend, we saw each other at my dad's house and we went out to a Christmas show together as a family, which was really nice. While we were there, my little brother put his arm around me and I put my head on his shoulder, and a minute later I looked up and he was just like sobbing, crying. And I know that he feels bad for the way that things are, but like I said, I really don't even care. I just want to rebuild. And this morning, I woke up from a text message from him that said, "Hey Jessie, I just wanted to tell you have a good night." And that for me was confirmation that he does care about this relationship and we are going to work on rebuilding moving forward. And I share this because there are a lot of reasons that I share. And I only have a couple minutes left. I should have waited to record this, but there are a lot of reasons that I share. One is because social media, people show you what they want you to see. And I am a very positive person. It's my job to be empowering and impactful in this world in a positive way. And I don't believe that every part of me is for everyone, which is why I didn't share any of this on social media, and I won't be. It's exclusive here for people who feel close to me and connected to me that get to hear these parts of me. You never know what people are going through. And it's easy to look at people on social media and assume like they have it all together or their life is perfect and they never have any problems. But people are showing you what they want you to see. And I just hope that you can be a kind person, that we can all be a little bit kinder to people, because we don't ever know what someone might be experiencing behind the scenes. The last 5 years have been so hard for me, and I've shared a lot on the podcast about it, especially with my mom, getting sober and navigating through all of that by myself. Nobody to help me, literally nobody. My husband, of course, is here, but he doesn't know what to do or how to handle it. I'd never been through it before. I would have loved to have had my brothers to lean on during that time, or even my dad to feel like he was a present person in my life who wanted to be there to support me through it. I didn't have that. And it's been really fucking hard for me. I have felt so alone in my family for so long. And I'm just really hopeful that this is the beginning of not feeling that way anymore. And I'm really hopeful that this is the beginning of more healing and more growth for my family, because I miss my family. And I don't know, there are parts of my family that I don't know will ever be whole again, but I will take what I can get. And I'm really hopeful that this is the beginning of a really beautiful relationship for me and my little brother. The second reason that I share this is because I want to encourage you to, number one, never give up hope for your family to be healed and mended and grow together. Because you never know when people may decide that they want to change. But with that, also be willing to practice forgiveness. And I have an entire episode here on the podcast about forgiveness. I've had to practice a lot of forgiveness in my life, and especially within my family. Be a woman who is willing to practice forgiveness, if for nothing else, but for yourself. I forgave my little brother far before we reconnected. I was never mad at him. Was I hurt? Yeah, of course. Was I sad? Yeah, absolutely. Did I miss him to pieces? Yes. I was never mad, but I forgave him, and trying to be understanding that whatever he was going through, he was doing this for a reason, because this is the best way that he knew how to deal with what he was going through. And me carrying resentment and anger and frustration and disappointment towards him in my heart, that's not beneficial for either of us. And I don't want to move every day through my life feeling disappointed and sad and frustrated. And there are people in your life right now who you may need to forgive. And maybe that means forgiving and moving forward with them. But maybe it also means just forgiving and moving forward for yourself. And that's what I've done over the last 5 years of my life, is Even when my mom was in the depths of her alcoholism, it's like, I'm not holding anger and resentment towards her. I'm forgiving you. And I'm moving forward for me, because that's what I needed. I crave nothing more than peace in my life. And I know that I have to be the creator of that, which means forgiving and letting go of things that are making me feel unhappy and unhealthy within myself. So I hope that this story will let you know that just because you feel a lack of hope right now, it doesn't mean that all hope is lost. And I hope that your family does come back together the way that you want them to, but also I hope that you will practice forgiveness for those in your life who deserve it. And I hope that you will practice it for yourself, because you deserve it. You don't deserve to live your entire life hurting and angry and resentful. Okay. So I'm not going to apologize for the tears, but I'm really hopeful for what's going to happen moving forward with my family. Actually, a memory popped up on my Facebook today. It was like 7 years ago. My little brother posted a picture of me and him from when we were kids. And I saw it this morning and I just started bawling, because I miss how we used to be. And I'm hopeful that we can get back there. And I share this because I hope that it's hope for you too. And as per usual, if this time of year is really hard for you, I hope that you know that I see you and I feel you. It's still hard for me because my family is not perfect. And there's still a lot of dysfunction and a lot of unhappiness and a lot of healing and growth and mending that needs to happen. I just hope that this is the beginning of it. And it's exhausting being the one who is like the peacemaker and the person who tries to bring everybody together. If that's you, I'm just sending you so much love, because I know what it feels like to be in that position. And I know how hard it feels to be there. But a reminder that you can't do it alone. The people that you're in a relationship with, family or not, healthy relationships are a two-way street, and they require both people to be equally as willing to show up and do the work to move forward in a way that feels really good for both of you. Okay. I love you guys so much. Thank you for sharing this life update with me. Thank you for being a support to me while I went through this. So many of you were so excited for me and so happy for me. I appreciate you just from the bottom of my heart. A reminder that if you desire to join the Resolution Masterclass, link is in the show notes. And if you want the details and exclusive pricing on my birthday offer, you're going to want to make sure you register your email in the link that is in the show notes of this episode. Okay. I love you guys so much. We will be back on Monday with another episode of Things I Wish I Would Have Known Sooner. Not sure which edition we're going to do first. We're either going to do business or relationship, because that's all we got left, but you'll find out on Monday when the episode is released. Okay. I love you to absolute pieces. I'll talk to you on the next episode.